Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Kamesh Peri. I am the Chief Executive Officer of Celebi Care, and I have been with Celebi for over 30 years now. And Hi, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Kamesh Peri. I am the Chief Executive Officer of Celebi Cargo Delhi, and I've been with Celebi since March this year. I've been in the aviation business for over 30 years now. I started my career in Delhi, went around the world, came back to India in 2006 after spending almost 14 years abroad. Uh, then I did a few things in the aviation business, including consulting, and I have recently joined Celebi. So this afternoon, I was asked to share my thoughts on my personal experience and how we are dealing with the situation in COVID uh, at different levels. So, one of the things which I want to say before we get on to the real issue at hand, which is about COVID and the challenges it poses for us and what we are doing to meet those challenges. I'll just give you a simple example about, you know, how difficult situations can be and how at times we have to make difficult decisions, and we have to accept the fact that we're living in a world which is dynamic. There are going to be changes, and we have to accept change by looking to the past, and also to make sure that we look back at examples where we have coped with the uncertainties and challenges, and we can also relate to that and say that how we were able to overcome the challenges in the past, we are able to also overcome the similar situation that we are currently facing. So we have to accept the current situation for what it is, but at the same time make sure that we have to deal with it in a very positive and in a holistic manner. So, in terms of my own experience, I had a situation where I had to make a difficult decision. Where, back in my early career years, I was promoted to a regional role, a managerial role, and then there came an opportunity for me to go back into hardcore operations in the Middle East, where I had a chance of earning a tax-free, better income. So the decision was to forego a promising career and start all over again, but also to do something better. So I chose the latter. I took the opportunity, went to the Middle East, did something with the job that was offered to me, grew up the ranks, and here I am after several years sitting in front of you and trying to say a few words about the challenges we face, and the kind of issues that we deal with, and how experiences of the past can be used to also deal with situations of the current. So in terms of COVID specific, a couple of things that I would like to say to the people who are dealing with COVID, people who have been affected by COVID, their family members, and how do we keep ourselves positive? How do we maintain a state of mind which is optimistic, positive, and we stay with a ray of hope rather than getting into the pessimistic mode and trying to believe that everything is over and we may not be able to come out of this. I don't think that is the case, because once again, the situation that we are in, this is a change to what we are used to, and change, as we know in life, is inevitable. It happens in different areas of life. It happens on the personal front, on the professional front, on the family front, and on the medical front as well. So without COVID also, we've had challenges on the medical front. So these are things that do happen from time to time, and this is something which is inevitable for us. Unfortunately, in the last year and a half, we've been, or a little over a year, we've been faced with a new challenge which was not heard before, which was not experienced, and it's something that we have to accept, and we have to just start looking at how do we deal with it rather than how do we escape from it, because this is there to be faced with, and we have to make sure that we understand the different stages of COVID, whether it is before somebody gets COVID, during the and once the person has got COVID, during the COVID crisis, and the COVID recovery phase, and after the COVID, what we need to do. So in all these three stages, if at all somebody were to go through it, the simple thing that has to be kept in mind is to follow the guidelines that are being prescribed by the medical authorities, and make sure that we are sticking to them. And that's the first and the foremost thing that we need to do. We need to focus during all these times on health, hygiene, and most important is to have a discipline. That is the most important thing for us to come out of this situation. And actually, I would even go a step further and say this should actually become a template for our future living as well, where we are focusing on health and hygiene more than ever before, because this is something which is very, very essential, as the recent example or the recent experience has shown us. So try and use the time that we have that we are going through at the moment to be with the family, because in a way this is a blessing. Because I don't remember the last time that the family has come together and spent this kind of a quality of life, given the busy schedules that we have these days, and the kind of a lifestyle, the hectic lifestyle that we all lead, whether it's students, whether it's professionals, whether it's even people of a senior age. Everybody is in the midst of so many hectic schedules and hectic issues that we not really had the time to spend with our family, with our friends, and with the community. So I think we should use this opportunity to spend a lot of time doing these things, where we start, understanding our people and spending a lot of time with them to make sure that we have a better understanding of each other's issues and requirements. And this is not only good for now, but it would be something that would be good for the future also. In all of this, stay positive. Think of COVID as just another disease. We've had so many of them around us. They still continue to be there. So COVID is not going anywhere. It will be there. And we just have to learn to deal with the positive state of mind. So be confident that we will eventually find a solution to the problem, even when one isn't immediately available, but there will be a solution coming very soon. And one of the things which I would also strongly recommend is to ignore the media hype. Make sure you're spending more time doing other things rather than chasing up the news to find out what is happening. There could be a lot of things that would be happening, in positive, negative, but unfortunately we try to absorb a lot of the negative information. So try and avoid that. Stay look at the positive side of things. Try and get into hobbies. Try to simple things like listening to music, or having some social chats with friends, family, and making sure that you're making the best use of the time that is available, and not spending time to find out what all the negative things are happening around us. So things like vaccination, medicines, testing, increasing their medical capacity, these are all the good news and that we have seen around us happening. So think about it, that while there is a negative aspect of it, there's also the positive aspect of it. So make sure that you are staying away from the negatives and trying to spend more time looking at the positive side of things. So try and spend more time towards activities which are going to be taken from the gloom and doom of the current situation, and trying to help you to increase the spirit of community, to forge good relationships, genuine relationships, and use the time that they had. You had the time to do things like yoga or exercises and other things which will actually help you not just now but also in the future. And this is something that would be also a diversion from what is happening. So all these things put together, if you were to practice even little bits of each of them, you would realize that there is a lot more to the positive aspect of the situation than just imagining that everything is going to go wrong. and we will be in a worse situation than we have ever been in our lives. I don't think that is the case. As with any other thing, what goes down definitely comes back, and I'm pretty sure that this will be also a thing of the past very soon, and we will be looking at the positive elements of life, and whatever the experiences, the positive experiences we have gave during this time is something that we should try and use for our future as well, because I'm sure there are some valuable lessons that we would have learned in the meanwhile, and that will help us in the future as well. So this is something more on a personal front, but as someone from the aviation or from the logistics business, it's not something that we only see on our personal lives, but we can also try and look at the positive elements and try and do some important things for ourselves from a corporate point of view. And that is what we as Celebi have undertaken upon ourselves during these times. And we have launched an initiative called We Care Initiative, where where the catch line is this: united we stand against the pandemic. So we care is our mantra, and not just towards our employees, but also towards the larger community. And in this process, what we have been able to do is to come up with several initiatives, which includes creating awareness for our staff, for our customers, for everyone, every stakeholder of the airport who's in touch with us, to give them to reinforce the message about COVID and the do's and don'ts. So this is an awareness which we have been running at our terminal, right from the time when we first got to know in the first week of April that COVID phase 2 is going to be coming soon. So we started with an awareness campaign. We went into the undertaking certain preventive steps from our side, which include basic things like installing hand sanitizers, dispensers at various locations, and imparting the significance of social distancing measures. We went about improving the disinfection, the sanitization of our terminal, and made sure that this was done more regularly and more at frequent intervals, and covering larger spaces of the terminal. And we also made sure that we were having the right PPE for our staff to gear themselves up for the kind of business that they had to do. And because at the end of the day, our business is a 24/7 business. Being an integral part of the airport community, we have a lot to deliver in terms of stakeholder expectations and in terms of our responsibility towards the society or the country at large, because we are the gateway where the imports and exports are happening from, and we had to make sure that we were an essential element of the supply chain, making this process or this operation as seamless and as smooth as possible, despite the external challenges we were facing with COVID. So we had this kind of a dual responsibility, and we had to therefore make sure that we were dealing with issues on a proactive basis. And one of the things which we had to start looking at was not just the practices that we followed during COVID-1 last year, but trying to see what we could do more, because it was very clear and apparent to us, as with everyone else, that COVID-2 is going to be much more serious and much more different, and therefore we had to do other things than what we had done in the past. So we did quite a lot of things from our side. One of the initiatives we did, and given also the situation we saw with oxygen support, and we launched oxygen support services, where our head office actually shipped in oxygen concentrators, and we ensured that we were we had several units stocked at all our stations across India for the immediate requirement of family and for the staff and their immediate family members. Besides stocking enough oxygen concentrators for the exclusive use of our staff and their family members, we also had additional concentrators which we brought in, and we have distributed in the meanwhile towards the different sections of the society, to make sure that anyone out there who had an urgent and immediate requirement of oxygen concentrator was being supported by us. And this was our small contribution towards the community at large. We also then took upon the initiative of going for employee vaccination drive much before many companies were even thinking and talking about it. And we have, as we speak, we have almost 3,500 employees who work for us in Delhi, and we have across other stations several other, I mean, Mumbai, we have 1,300, Hyderabad, 300, Bangalore, Cochin, over 200 people. So we have made sure that we are looking at each of the stations and seeing how our staff can be vaccinated. And we were fortunate to be able to get medical slots to do a vaccination drive in our own office in Delhi, which is an initiative to ensure vaccination for all our staff across cargo and ground handling units. And we are now also trying to extend this facility to the immediate family members of our staff, including their dependent parents. So that's something which is an ongoing process. Again, an initiative under the V Care umbrella from the company side, from Celebis side, and we are proactively making vaccine available for our employees to help combat the effects of COVID-19, and also to make our customers feel confident and to reassure that in their dealing with us. And we also taken some basic initiatives of making sure that our staff wearing double masks. We provided them double masks for the staff who are on the operations side. We given them face shields, especially for the ones who are in a critical area of operation. We switched off the centralized air conditioning system because we believe, or science, there is a science to it to say that virus can spread through the centralized AC system. So we have stopped that, and our customers and our stakeholders have been supportive of our initiative in this regard. What we've also done is we've also had medical consultation support. So we have a 24/7 telephone medical assistance with certified medical practitioners for all our employees and their immediate family members in case of a critical situation. So they are there to assist them as a first line of support and guide them through what they are supposed to do to meet the difficult time. So we've also arranged for flexible work patterns for our staff to make it easier for them to be able to come and do their jobs while keeping, putting less pressure on them. We have also gone on an immunity booster drive, which means by which we have all our employees are, have been, and to strengthen the immunity system of our employees, we have supplied them with vitamin supplements such as vitamin Z and zinc tablets and A to B health supplements. We've also gone further to look after, having a face recognition system so that people do vis-a-vis the biometric system, so that there is less touch contact for our staff, and the time and attendance is recognized through a face recognition system than a conventional biometric system. Then we have ensured that there is COVID insurance cover for all our employees who are not getting the support from ESIC. So group COVID-19 medical insurance for all employees who are covered under EIC has been provided by us. And we have also taken one step further because we had an unfortunate death case of employee, of a fellow colleague who died of COVID. So the management and the company came together and decided that in the event of unfortunate demise of any of the employees during COVID-19, Celebi will be supporting the family with a monthly support of 25,000 rupees for a period of 1 year. We will also provide educational assistance support of 2,500 per child, up to 2 children for 1 year, and provide job opportunity for one surviving family member. And this is something which we have done, as a gesture of goodwill and care from our side. And we hope we would never have to exercise this option, because that's the last thing we would wish to happen. But in the unfortunate situation which happened with one colleague, we will be looking at making sure that there is basic support and compassion shown from our side towards the surviving members of the deceased. So we also have a situation where, as I mentioned before, we have a 24/7 operation. So we have handled a lot of relief flights. As was recently announced, Delhi Airport handled more than 100 relief flights very recently, and we did, do our part in terms of handling almost half of those flights, and making sure not only handling those flights, but making sure that the cargo that we were receiving was being immediately delivered to our customers, so that the critical medical units which were coming on those relief flights was something that were able to reach to the people that were urgently waiting for it. So several initiatives, several measures all thanks to the senior management, right from the head office to the India management led by CEO India, and also to the ground handling and the cargo units. So the initiatives that we did as Celebi for India was not just for cargo but also for the ground handling units. And this is an initiative which we feel particularly satisfied with, and it also gives us the hope that if we all come together, not only are we able to meet a crisis, but we are also able to deliver on the operational and emergency requirements of the workforce, of the employees, of the family members, also for the community and the country at large. So my message is that nothing is lost. It's a difficult and challenging situation, but it's something that can be dealt with, and it's only possible if we all come together with a positive state of mind. And I am pretty confident that we have come through several crises in the past, one way, the natural or otherwise, and I'm very sure that this one will also be something that we would be able to overcome with our joint efforts. I thank Logistics Insider for giving me this opportunity to speak to you and say a few things based on my own personal experience, and also the experience that we as Celebi have been able to go through in the recent times. And we hope that we would be able to turn around things, and we will be able to learn a valuable lesson from this whole experience for the benefit of all of us in the future, going forward and in the future. Thank you very much.